This is Bahamas drill journalist, and this is the story of the Outlaw brothers. Michael Fox aka Mikey, or the Enforcer, and his right-hand man Deontre Knowles aka Spy, both brothers and two sons of Fox Hill Kingpin. Their father Kenton Dion Knowles, also known as Emperor or Outlaw's sons Spy and Little Mikey attended L.W. Young Junior High School, which starts at grade 7 through the 9th grade. Little Mikey was there for his 7th grade year, until Mikey's brother Spy joined him for his 8th grade year. Spy got his street name came behind his eyes being wide as an Asian. Both Outlaw's sons was the same age by different mothers, and was in the same grade level but different homerooms. Spy was gaining a lot of attention from school. Our sources can tell you that Outlaw son Spy was extorting students and beating up oppositions from nearby neighborhoods who wasn't a part of the Fox Hill area. This local junior high school compound is located in the Fox Hill area. In the early 2000s, Fox Hill was known for dog pound gangsters, better known as DPG, until Dion Knowles aka Outlaw formed his own gang, the Outlaws, which rivals with the Kemp Road, Elizabeth Estates, Nassau Village areas. L.W. Young High School had kids attending this school from such neighborhoods such as Number 1. Elizabeth Estates, known as Lizzie, that represents the street gang MOB, Teflons, or the Raiders. Number 2. Kemp Road, which was known for the Georgetown Hoyas. Number 3. Nassau Village, which represents 3 fractions. These 3 gangs had students that were to become enemies, due to the older students and older members of their community, who had beef and rivals. There was an incident with Spy, which occurred with a bully called George Nixon, also known as Babu of Kemp Road. George Nixon, a mad-ass member who had recently been killed. Nixon was arrested for assault and house break-in and sent to prison back in 2014. Babu was a huge kid, 6 feet 2 inches. Babu had a look in his face that put people's lives in fear. Spy was a kid 5 feet 4 inches. Talks was to shuffle between students on which of these guys was the most feared. Spy from Fox Hill and Babu from Kemp Road. These 2 students had a face-off. The Kemp Road neighborhood and the Fox Hill neighborhood also were present, alongside most of the school students, shouting and screaming, telling everyone to let them get some space, because there will be nobody jumping in the fight. By the size of George Babu Nixon, it was determined that his brother would jump into the fight, but Mikey didn't. It was a one-on-one brawl which left Babu with multiple stab wounds from a pen. Spy Knowles threw the first punch while Babu was looking around the circle, telling everyone don't try jump him, because he will catch a body with his knife in his waist. Babu then threw his knife to a friend and started to fight Spy. Spy threw a left hook that threw and knocked Babu Nixon to the floor like Goliath. Spy then grab a pen out of his pocket and stab George Babu Nixon multiple times about the head and body, before Babu surrender and throw in his white towel. Son of Kingpin was quickly escorted to safety after the brawl. Where is Babu and Spy today? Let's fast forward. George Nixon aka Babu was gunned down after he was released from prison in 2014. Our officials said it is rumored that Babu had flip gangs in prison. Babu made threats and fought a few One Order members while in prison and was offered an invitation from AD Block Mad Ass Rafi. Babu accept that bribe in return for street sentimental values in return. Babu now on a mad ass block in prison, while living in the One Order area in the streets. Still living in the same community which he was born and raised. Babu would quickly to be snaked by his own peers. In 2014, officers made the discovery of a lifeless body when they responded to reports of gunshots being heard in the Kemp Road area. Around 10 p.m. that night, George, a resident of Leon Road, was standing in the street when 2 males dressed in all black, armed with handguns, accosted Babu and began discharging shots in his direction. Babu ran to the rear of a local business nearby his home where he was cornered and fatally shot multiple times about the body. George didn't have a chance. Babu bullet-riddled body was pierced and pinned to the ground like cement nail with almost 30 bullet rounds. The year these boys graduated, they had enemies and a lot of these guys were friends. Spy was set up while walking through a track road. Spy then was ambushed by a lone hoodie gunman who emerged from the bushes and opened fire, resulting in Spy receiving multiple gunshots to the head and upper body. It was rumored to be that Spy murder was so vicious, Spy had a close casket in honor of respect to Spy, his family and friends. Man accused of killing Spy was a fellow schoolmate. Our sources can tell you guys that A 28-year-old man accused of Fox Hill kingpin son's murder was sent to prison after being accused of murdering him in the Fox Hill area early 2021. Dwayne Davis, also known as Gup Gup, was charged with the murder of Deandra Spy Knowles on May 15, 2021. Shortly after 7 a.m. early that day, a man was walking on Grant Street making a trail through an open track road when he discovered the lifeless body of a man with several gunshot wounds to the upper body and skull. At the time, on arrival of the authorities, police said it appeared that the body of the lifeless corpse had been there for some quite time and added that the victim was a male in his mid-20s to early 30s. Davis, or Gup Gup, was not required to enter a plea to the charge and his case was adjourned to August 19, 2021. Gup Gup, or Davis, bail was denied and he was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. Mikey was shot in a gang retaliation and was paralyzed in one leg. Mikey snitched on his shooter in a bid to get him jailed for life. Friday, May 20, 2016, 10:27 a.m. A man tried in his absence was convicted of attempted murder by a majority count of 6-3. Justice Cheryl Grant Bethel had accused Prescott Knowles removed from the court after Prescott went on an obscene rant during the testimony of his victim Michael Fox. When he was brought back to court, Prescott Knowles, 33, said that he had no desire to be present. His attorney Calvin Seymour defended him. However, Prescott Knowles appeared to have a change of heart and told the judge that he wanted to attend his sentencing. When was informed of the jury's decision of conviction, the sentencing is scheduled for June 9, 2016. According to the evidence, Mikey Fox, 22, at the time, was in front of a friend's home through Ida Street on July 5, 2015. They were swapping the tires on their cars when a silver vehicle pulled up. A man, who Michael Fox recognized as Prescott Knowles, exited the back seat. Wearing sunglasses and armed with a firearm, jumped out and began firing shots. Michael Fox tried to run, but after 2 steps, Michael said he felt something hit him in his back, causing him to fall to the ground. The gunman then stood over him and continued to shoot until the gun was empty. Afterwards, the gunman stopped shooting and got into the Honda Accord, which subsequently pulled off. Fox, who is now confined to a wheelchair, picked Knowles out of a photo array when he was in hospital. When Prescott Knowles was arrested, he was in possession of a .40 pistol, which was linked to the shooting through ballistic testing. Prescott was sentenced to 30 years. 3 years later, after he had cursed out a Supreme Court judge, Prescott is to be retried for attempting to murder Michael Fox 3 years ago, because the judge he berated did not allow him to change his lawyer during his trial. Acting Appellate President John Isaacs, and fellow Justices Stella Crane Scott, and Sir Michael Barnett, said Prescott Knowles is to be retried in the shortest time possible. Concerning the June 5, 2015 attempted murder of Michael Fox Jr., Prescott Knowles was convicted of Fox Jr.'s attempted murder on May 19, 2016, and was sentenced to 30 years imprisonment. When the trial commenced on May 9, 2016, and while the virtual complainant Fox was giving evidence from the witness stand, Prescott Knowles apparently lost control and, from the holding box, he stood up and started challenging the veracity of the virtual complainant's claims. Prescott then said, "So tell me something. You saying I shoot you?" asked to Michael Fox from the box, according to a transcript. The judge ordered him to sit back down. Prescott then said, "I ain't shoot this nigga. Y'all want jail me for something I ain't do, big man." That's when Justice Grant Thompson ordered for Knowles to be taken out of the court. Prescott again blurted out at Michael Fox, "Fuck you, you mix up I try get your people who shoot you. All of y'all freaking out in this court." Justice Grant Thompson ordered the man to be removed from the court, after which he said, "Talking F, don't mix me up." Justice Grant Thompson again ordered for the man to be taken out of the court. And when she did so a second time, Prescott responded by saying, "Fuck you bae, Carlita Bethel, you're big pussy." Justice Bethel subsequently stated, "I find you in contempt of court." The trial subsequently proceeded in Prescott Knowles' absence, and Justice Grant Thompson did not address Knowles directly on his outburst until the following day, at which time he apologized for his conduct. Knowles also indicated at the time that he didn't feel as if he would have a fair trial, especially in view of his outburst and different little things. He said he was going to ask his then attorney, Calvin Seymour, to relieve himself from the case. because he had spoken with his family with an aim to retaining attorney Muriel Dusil. However, Justice Grant Thompson said she would not allow Mr. Seymour to be relieved, and that the attorney would have to continue. She further stated that Knowles could have Mr. Dusil join Mr. Seymour, but that she would not restart the trial for that individual. However, the appellate judges said it was not competent for the judge to have required a private counsel to be yoked to a court-appointed attorney in circumstances where the accused person no longer requires or wants their services, and further noted that Prescott Knowles made no request for a new or restarted trial. The appellate judges thus said it was obvious that the trial judge was more concerned about the time that may have been wasted should new counsel be inserted in the trial than she was for the constitutional rights of the accused to have counsel of his choice. They said the judge's failure to recognize the constitutional imperative resulted in whatever transpired thereafter as an unfair trial. We are of the view that this conviction cannot be sustained, the appellate judges said. In the circumstances, the conviction is quashed and the sentence set aside. We order that there be a retrial and that occur in the shortest time possible. The appellant is to be detained until such time as that retrial occurs unless granted bail by the court below. Knowles was represented by Christina Galanos during his